We have a graph here. On the bottom it says number of days hire, and up the side it says hire charge in pounds, and the writing says a hire firm hired out industrial blow heaters. They used this graph to approximate what the charges would be. So if we look at the graph, it's a bit like a conversion graph. If I hired a heater for 20 days, I can find 20 on my number of days section of my graph. I can go up to my graph, up to my line on my graph, and I can go along over here and I can find out what the cost would be in pounds. So there are some questions over here I have to do like that. The first question says, use the graph to find the approximate charge for hiring a heater for 40 days. So I'm given the information 40 days. So on my graph I find where the days are, I find where 40 is, and I go straight up to my graph line. I'm going to draw that on, up to my graph line, and then I go along from where I got to, over to the left where the money is. So I went up from 40 to my graph line, across over here, and I've come to £120. So the charge for hiring that heater for 40 days would be £120. If I was doing it for 25 days, I come along here, there's 20, there's 30, bang in the middle, that must be 25 days. So I can go up to my graph line and then along, and I reckon that's just a tiny bit there more than 80. So if that's 80, that's 120, bang in the middle would be £100. So about there would be about £90, so we call it about £81 or £82 I think for that one. So for 25 days, went up from 25 days along, came to a number over there, and that's about £81 or £82. Part B, use the graph to find out how many days hire you would get for a cost of £100. So this time you're starting with an amount of money that's been given to you. So you need to find your money numbers. These were the day numbers, these are the money numbers up here. You need to find where 100 is, I've already marked that in. So you go along from 100 until you reach the graph line. So I've come along to my graph line, then I come straight down, and I reckon that's taken me to be about there. Just zoom in on that one. So I went from my £100 along and down, and that's taken me to there. Well, that's 30, that's 40, so that's 35, so I reckon there that's about 32, something like 32 days. So £100, if someone is paid £100, that would have been 32 days. Then here I have £150, so I need to find my pound numbers, those are here. I need to find 150, well I have 120, then it goes 130, 140, 150, 160. So in the middle of 120 to 160 is 140. So that will be that point. 150 is bang in the middle of 140 and 160. So 150 is going to be about there. So now I know where 150 is on the money line. I can go along from there to my graph line. It's right at the end of it over here. And I can go down from where I've got to. I reckon that takes me down to here, and that looks like 50, a little bit more than 50, probably about 51 days. Then the final part of the question says, why does the graph show you appear to pay £20 for hiring a heater for no days at all? Let's just see where that comes from. No days. Well, that was 10 days, 20 days. No days is here. Hire it for no days, you have to pay £20. Well, that doesn't really make sense. What is actually happening here is you have to pay £20 regardless of how long you have the heater. It's £20 plus extra, but everybody pays at least that first £20. Sometimes it's called a standing charge or a fixed charge, but it means basically everybody pays £20 and then they start paying so much per day.